ByuN, Party, Maru. Africa TV, Frigo Studio Live, 2020 GSL Season 3, Code S, Last Stand.
The final best of 3 is upon us. ByuN versus Maru. Who do we want to actually have advance? This is terrible. Stop fighting, no. Let them both go on, no.
I know, right?
Let them
Fans win, something like that.
Let them both advance and play in Archon mode, God.
That would be scary. Can you imagine? You just open with 2 racks Reaper, and that's all ByuN does for the whole game. All Maru does everything else. Holy crap.
Archon mode,
thank you.
Archon mode never really became a thing.
It really didn't.
It's so funny because when Blizzard announced it, I'm like, don't you mean Team Melee that was already in?
Yeah, it was in Star 1.
Yeah, it was actually in StarCraft 1 already.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, in StarCraft 1, they do still play a little bit of Team Melee.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
okay.
Not super popular.
Ice and Chrome. Oh, that's our last map. Whoops. Suddenly I decided English was read from the bottom to the top. Pillars of Gold will be our first map, guys. A TVT for a change.
Okay.
This is after the humans beat the aliens in Independence Day, and then they went back to killing each other. Game 1's ready, guys. One of these 2 players advances, either ByuN or Maru. Let's see what happens.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여.
GSL really high.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우린 더욱 강하다. ByuN으로. 지리어 글리스, 마루, 조성주.
Remember his Maru management.
What?
Maru management. Micromanagement.
Oh, okay.
You made this joke earlier.
No, mine was way better than that. It
What
wasn't
was
Maru
yours?
management. It was Maru tasking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It's when he has Marauders in 2 different locations.
You got the off-brand version of that joke. That's the
Yeah.
off-brand cereal joke.
What the hellion is wrong with you, Tasteless?
Oh, wow. I'm with a real pro here. Watch out. What other crazy dad jokes can you make with these words, Ortosis?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll come up with something.
So we got an SCV headed over here across the map. Just going to scout, I guess, right away?
Thanks. Thanks, Jesus. The
It could mine minerals, too. That's
What?
another thing SCVs can do.
Okay. He gets up here, and I guess he does get a reasonable scout with it. He's just checking to make sure nothing's on the map, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
But
so.
they're doing the same build. Interesting that one of them scouts and the other doesn't when they're doing the same build. Does that mean that Maru is more confident because he sent out the SCV?
I guess so,
He's like,
yeah.
well, I'm only going to lose if you cheese?
You know, when I go into this match, I'm just trying to imagine Maru really smashing ByuN. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to imagine ByuN actually just having better control than Maru. The thing is, like, ByuN looks good, but Maru looks like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Amazing play.
Yeah.
The only way he loses is when he nukes his own army, you know.
Yeah, it is hard to see where ByuN can win, because even if you have good micro, it's like, well, Maru's micro is just good minimum. And then, like, also, TVT is not just about micro in any way, right?
Right.
It's like, in fact, hard to make it about micro.
Well, TVT is a lot of times about angling. It's kind of like a type of micro, but it's also about, you know, keeping up a better pace and hitting the right locations before them.
Positioning, army movement, that type
And that's
of
also
thing.
dependent on what kind of production you're actually having here.
I like
I'm
these
glad our
circles.
upgrades tab is open, though. Can I just say that? That's really good. Why is that there? Just so you guys know, nobody's upgrading. All right.
There's no upgrades done.
Yeah, well, I just want
like, but we're 3 minutes and 25 seconds into a TVT. How do we have no upgrades? That's so bizarre. Let me just commentate off that.
Can we get the units lost tab open now, please?
You know, most commentators.
Yeah.
Most commentators they look at the production tab to tell the story. Me, give me the upgrade tab all day.
All day.
All day long.
That's the real source of wisdom.
My commentary is mostly like, we see 2 Reapers and a Hellion here. Still no upgrades for either
We're still
player.
waiting on Stim. Remember, Stim is a good upgrade to have. Keep your eyes on the upgrade tab. We'll know when that's coming. Sit tight. Uh-oh, they missed each other.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't miss each other. So how's this going to work?
Yeah.
They're going to drop the drop. Ski bop, ski bop. Oh, is he going to get it? Is he going to get in there? Did it actually burrow?
No, I guess not.
Oh, no. How embarrassing.
Well, Maru.
So that was
Maru
maybe
holds
the
that very
ugliest thing
well.
I've ever seen in my whole life. This is 2 pro gamers like their armies smashing into each other like a kid playing with his action figures.
Yeah. Make that sound effect.
He's making them talk to each other. You'll never destroy my army. My soldiers are too great for you. No! Ah! I knew this kid that I grew up with, and oh, hold on a second. The story has to wait. Maru. Great, deflected you again. Try my grenades on for size. I knew this kid, like all kids, you know, playing with action figures was just so fun when you're a kid.
Yeah,
but then, I remember
awesome.
I got into I think it was middle school or something. I went to one of my friend's house, and he wanted to play with action figures, but I had somehow outgrown it.
Oh,
it was
yeah?
really. Do you ever know anybody like this, where they were maybe playing with action figures a little bit? Where I'm like,
well,
no, you should
everyone outgrows those at a different age. Actually.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, I actually remember the moment I outgrew my action figures because I had a bunch of Ninja Turtles. I just loved those so much, and I was playing with them one day, and while I was playing with them, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I just never did again.
Yeah.
It was a really weird realization. And I remember the moment because I was so shocked because I'm like, well, that's weird because I always loved these and I have so many. And
Artosis was 23 at the time, too. It was crazy.
It was, well, the other part is my daughter had just turned 6.
My wife said she would leave me if I didn't stop doing this. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Siege Burst here.
Oh.
ByuN, it's getting worse for ByuN.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man.
ByuN's attacks not doing what they need to do. Really, everything's been deflected. Everything's been picked off.
ByuN's getting his face ripped off.
Yeah, in fact, look, yeah, Maru's just ahead. But ByuN's not dead, right?
Well, I think that ByuN, if things keep going poorly, I think he will be dead, actually.
I mean, he's...
Oh, I can't believe he didn't continue to pursue that. If he can actually kill the 2 Ravens, it's huge. One thing Raven's not good at, escaping.
Not as much. He's going to go ahead and chase those down.
All right, interception.
He needs to split them off. No.
Well, this is going to be bad because when Maru comes out to push, he's going to have a lot more disables available, a lot more tools at his disposal.
Absolutely.
And again, every little fight, basically Maru's won.
A lot of scuffles. The supply is similar right now, and ByuN does have his 3rd base up and mining, so maybe he can hold on, but I do feel like what you were saying, having those... actually, how much mana does he have? Did he... I don't think he really used much, right?
I don't believe he did.
He has 2 disables. He can probably hit the 3rd, but...
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. Actually, just sits back a bit defensively. Well,
so now
I guess ByuN is he's fine. It felt like there might have been a window there for Maru to do something.
I think he's fine for now, but I do think there's going to be more tools here for Maru. You know? Yeah,
a little bit, but as both sides grow, they don't mean as much, right?
Sure.
Like, yeah, you have +2 Ravens, but, like, I guess if you both have 10 tanks then, or, you know, it's like, well, you disable 2, okay, he still has 8 tanks, you know?
Right.
Whereas if he has 2 tanks, suddenly it's like this gigantic moment. But, you know, it's a risk sometimes to attack.
Seems like ByuN's actually itching to attack again here.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this going to work?
He is an aggressive player. All right, little scan there. Seeing those Marines.
Now, ByuN is going to take his 4th first here, but Maru's not too far behind. And he's in the sensor tower range right now. I'm not sure. I'm a little bit surprised, just to say the least, you know. It just seems like it's dangerous to ever have your army, since TVT is so much about positioning before the attack,
Yeah.
to just be sitting there destroying rocks when you could get flanked and killed.
I kind of understand that he would want the rocks down because he
Yeah.
wants to open up as many areas as possible so that he can start hitting multiple
Yeah,
locations.
he wants to have some counterattack opportunities here as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Oh man, Maru now just tearing through. Again, another little victory here. But there's a push coming down here. Oh, great spotting though with the Cyclone. And I imagine infantry will be able to get over here in time. I don't know what he's going to be able to push. In fact, Maru's expanding down towards the bottom, so I don't know what we're doing here.
Well, ByuN is just kind of looking for a way in, right? He's trying to figure out, can he do something somewhere? The answer right now is no. But if you don't look, you won't find anywhere, right?
So he's going to try to. I don't know what the plan is here from ByuN. I really don't. It just seems like this is never going to work. He's not going to get in here.
Oh,
And, oh, he's in pursuit now. Now again, the tanks are not as fast as Marines. Oh my God, he's just crushing him.
yeah.
Now
It's
there's a
going really
counterattack here, but how much damage is this really going to do?
well. Looks like he'll get the command center, but
Okay.
he's losing a lot of Marines to get it.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of Marines, man. Now, as the dust settles, what does Maru want to do? I feel like a push is in order, right?
It's
I mean, just
time.
go across.
He killed enough tanks that, again, he's got a big tank lead, and he has those Ravens, and he has more Vikings, and he has Liberators. So that's like he's dominating the air and the ground. ByuN does have a lot of Marines. He's macroing actually very, very well this game.
He does, but it seems as though Maru has quite a lot of push potential here. The
Yeah.
counterattacks here from ByuN, insufficient.
Well, Maru has a more technical army.
Right.
So if you control it correctly, it is supposed to be able to eat through what ByuN has. But, you know, ByuN has a lot. So if you make a mistake, he can punish. There's the possibility of a counterattack as well. And he can kind of make it a little bit difficult on Maru by just sieging up his tanks.
Okay, so a push coming through here at the top. Now, ByuN's counterattacking down here with a decent amount at the bottom. What do we actually have here? So that's a good amount of tanks, but the positioning may be questionable. Uh-oh, here we go.
Those disables really doing some work.
Yeah.
Getting in with his Marines on top of the siege tanks now,
Oh
but
my
ByuN
God.
with the counterattack absolutely doing nothing.
ByuN is losing on every front right now. The CC has been pushed away, and I think Maru might even want to try to attack somewhere else. Supplies are even, but again, engagements all going here to Maru. Now, ByuN's going to try to intercept this. A scan here will tell him he does not want to move forward.
Well, honestly, if he can bring his entire army to bear and hit it from at least 2 angles, he could clear that, right?
I think so.
He's macroing very well, but Maru continues to gain the technical lead. It almost looks like I'm watching TY play here from Maru's position because he's got the Vikings, he's got the Liberators, he's got the Ravens, he's got more siege tanks. But ByuN is very much in ByuN mode. Like, he is heavy on the Marines right now.
Look at how Maru's trying to sneak through a pretty remote corner of the map.
ByuN might catch that, though. He has a lot of Marines down there.
Well, he just scanned it. Maru did.
Oh, good scan.
Yeah, that's some star sense right there, man. And he's going to see it's going to... Oh, is it going to leave? He might be able to just slip through. There's going to be one Marine here. This gets spotted. But I don't think... Oh, can ByuN turn around in time?
Yeah, both of them kind of looking for that, that little edge.
This
that
is
little
such
in.
an interesting feature in this game is
Yeah.
watching this,
Yeah.
this really important group of units try to navigate back home. And by the way, Maru has succeeded in it. He's got all these important assets back there. And I think he's going to regroup and actually attack out again.
You know what? I feel like what I'm watching here is Maru play a more proper TVT, but ByuN is actually doing a lot of things really well also. Like, yeah, he's very heavy on Marines, but what he's doing is kind of like a little bit of a leapfrog. He's adding a bunch of starports here, so he is going to get into Sky Terran.
Again, these siege tanks doing so much damage over here.
Ooh.
Oh man, I think he's just gonna clear house.
Yeah. Lot going down there for ByuN. ByuN trying to hit another location. He's actually going to pick off these siege tanks and, I mean, force a cancel on the command.
That's a good victory there. He needed to win somewhere.
Yeah. And don't forget, he did add those starports, so he might be able to just jump up suddenly in the Viking count. Ooh. Nice armor shred there. Oh, a good pick off on one of the Ravens. That's really important if you're trying to switch into Sky Terran, right? Pick those off.
Okay.
Oh, he added tech labs on those? Okay, he's going Raven tech. Okay, okay. Looks like ByuN gonna pop out a few Ravens and then probably go into Vikings, but without reactors on his starports. It's gonna take a while for him to actually catch up in that regard.
Yeah, I think so.
And with more starports on the way for Maru, who already is dominating the skies, I'm not sure about the way he's approaching it. I almost feel like I wish he had gotten 2 reactors first.
You know, as much as I've been praising Maru this game, I do think ByuN is doing a really impressive job.
Yeah.
He's really holding his own. I mean, he's having a lot of tough decisions to make. You can really see these guys are both a pretty good match for each other. Oh, man. Again,
well,
okay, that was a good save there. You got to be careful. When you're running in a TVT, your tanks will end up in the back, and the Stim Marines will kill them.
Yeah.
And then they get to push you. Okay, but this is the moment that Maru has basically fended off all attacks. He's now looking for a big win here. ByuN is going to counterattack here. I think Maru should have enough to kind of deal with this, but let's see the main push.
That much. Well, Maru just continues to grow in technicality.
Right.
Like, look at this. Oh, nice disables coming down on these siege tanks, so he
allow
can just
him
move
to,
into position.
Yeah, he can just encroach over here. Man, he's going to get the CC now. There's not enough SCVs to ever repair that. That's gone. He just cut ByuN in half. The upper left base is now marooned. ByuN's going to try a counterattack. I don't really know what's back at home. There's definitely enough tanks for... Oh, maybe a drop would change that. I was going to say if he runs in there. Oh my God, Artosis.
Yeah, it's getting a bit rough. It's really hard to, you know, fit Marines through the star-shaped hole and the square-shaped hole and the circle-shaped hole. I mean, they're Marines.
The tank-shaped hole.
Yeah, the hole that's like full of lasers. You know, it's just they're getting shredded everywhere. He's keeping his supply high. He's making moves.
Look at this.
But yeah,
this is like this is how you kill a top-tier Terran. He just disables that. There's, again, another counterattack here. There's a lot of siege tanks. This is enough where you could run through and obliterate everything, though. The thing is that...
he could actually hit down there.
Yeah, that was a completely naked expansion.
Ooh.
Maru scans the upper left, discovering that he actually has another base he needs to deal with. Whoa, Cheeto dusted that big time.
This is like, there's no medevacs here. He's just trading as best he can. Hey,
well,
that trade was good. That,
yeah,
considering his position there.
That's also everything Terran had, though.
Yeah.
Or ByuN had, I should say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, he wasn't gonna get better with those Marines that had no medevacs and were trapped. So
yeah.
You know what? He got the best out of the bad situation.
Okay.
A lot of disables going down.
Yeah. I think we're seeing the twilight of this game now. Maru just continues to dominate at every turn here. It's funny because ByuN is like holding his own. It's just that I don't see a way out for ByuN, you know?
No. Like, he had the idea of going into Sky Terran, but Maru just, he kind of reached the situation where his army can't be killed as long as he moves it correctly.
Yeah, and his maneuvering is just so good. He's going to snake his army this way up here. And I think just eventually smash 12 o'clock. He'll be eyeing this upper left base over here as well. And you can see the symbiosis of the units here for Maru just allow him to win on so many fronts.
Yeah.
GG, Maru wins, but we're not out of the woods yet. ByuN has the opportunity to move on if he wins 2 more games in a row. The problem is Maru, I got to say, by the way, Maru looks even better than he's ever looked before today. He looks
great.
So phenomenally good.
He's in shape to win GSL.
And yeah, and I know that sounds a little bit weird because he won GSL over and over and over back to back, but like, do you agree? He looks like the best we've ever seen.
I actually do agree. And the thing is, when he won all those GSLs, 3 of them were on the back of really different proxy play, where he was like making buildings in the middle of the map, like a whole bunch, and then able to transition out, and he was kind of outplaying everyone. And the thing is, it's been several seasons since he's won one, so everyone's gotten better anyways. But like, he just looks amazing tonight. He really looks great.
He looks so phenomenally like perfect. Like every engagement, he's handling everything correctly. And ByuN looked very good, but that was a game where ByuN, I think, almost played a perfect game and still got cornered.
That reminded me of watching MMA versus MVP in the old days.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like one player is really trying their best to do everything with bio, and the other player is like, I have siege tanks. You know, and it's like, well, we know the way this is actually supposed to end. Sometimes the bio player can do it, but you saw ByuN just continually get further behind. He just doesn't have the tech units. If Maru moves around correctly, as he showed us he can, you're not going to beat him just running around with Marines.
And let's remember how that game started. There was a little bit of a weird engagement from ByuN early on. Maru slapped everything down, and that's when he started to get that lead. And he just, at every turn, managed to shut ByuN down. I think ByuN actually had the setup for some really good counterattacks that probably against almost any other Terran in the whole world would have allowed him to actually come back. But Maru was so careful. Let's go back to that moment where we had the tanks trying to get back home. ByuN was ready to intercept that. If ByuN intercepts the tanks and the Ravens and the medevacs, the game's evened out. The critical tech is gone, but Maru was very patient. It was a mini game of about, I want to say, 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes of this player, Maru, just trying to sneak back and scanning, and are we safe? He sees the Marines coming, he sieges up, he gets him back home, and that's really where he cemented the lead. He had the lead when he won the fights early on, but then he gets back, he's able to regroup. And from there, it was just him with a far superior tech, a much stronger army, and it mutes every attempt that ByuN is trying to get to win.
Yeah.
You know, he had more tanks, he had more Ravens, he had more Vikings.
Now, you're spot on, right?
ByuN was a Marine
to retain
man.
your army in that situation, to get all of your high-tech units out without losing anything, and to reinforce.
And the only time, actually, that ByuN had a big win was when he shot down all the tanks, but that was when the game was pretty close to over. He killed, I think, 8 tanks or something like that. But
yeah, and I mean, it was an okay move. But
sure.
And the thing is, ByuN is doing several things very well. I think where he's failing here is strategy. It's like he's playing mechanically very well. Like, he's macroing really well. He's ahead on SCVs even. You know, he's getting his expansions down really quickly. He's macroing out his Marines very quickly. But at the end of the day, it's maybe if the map was bigger, a strategy like that would have more power. But
possibly.
I mean, do we have a map bigger?
Well, here's a thing that we don't actually talk about enough, is that some players are much less strategic than others.
Oh, yeah.
There are pros that are very mechanically gifted, and they're good at making stuff, but they're not good at a lot of the strategic variants. And I'm not saying ByuN is that entirely, but I would say we could put him a little bit more in that category. I mean, ByuN's biggest successes are often spectacular mechanical victories.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
good macro, amazing
great micro. He does micro stuff that we just don't see other people do. But, you know, TVT is this very fluid chess game of map control and maintaining really important tech units. And Maru's really good at that. Maru is completely comfortable in a drawn-out, technical game of map control and resource optimization.
I would say he's top 2 in the world with TY at that.
I agree.
Specifically. Yeah. I generally think TY is better at that type of thing, but Maru just showed, like, I mean, if you would cover up the name tags, I'd be like, maybe this is TY?
Yeah.
Right? We didn't see as much harassment, but honestly, the way ByuN was playing, you don't want to send medevacs out. There were so many Marines around.
Right.
But yeah, it was really, really well played. We need to see ByuN approach it a little bit differently, like maybe retain his siege tanks a bit better if he wants to do the Marine heavy, so that he can get into the Sky Terran when he wants.
I feel like there's always this thing with ByuN where he's trying to, like a fencer, run in there and do a bunch of damage, and like that works on almost everybody.
Yeah.
But Maru is
there's a cap to it.
He's a judo guy.
Yeah, I know. There's a cap to it. I think is.
Come at me. All right, you're ByuN. All right, ready? Come attack me. Ready?
Like.
Whoa! Judo flip. Woof.
Damn. Tasteless.
That's what happens.
Tasteless
Now
not
they know I
wearing
have
pants.
shorts.
Yeah.
But they did see my nice legs. I could have been a dancer, they tell me, but instead I did this.
Yeah, he's got those nice chicken legs.
Mm-hmm.
No, so ByuN, what does he change up here to try to beat Maru?
That's a good
I
question.
think the early attacks are not working. His micro is not better than Maru's anymore. Back before he went to the military, there was not a question he had better micro than Maru. That was a fact. You could see it in their play. I don't think that's the case, and in TVT, there's some little technical micro battles that can occur that are important, but it's not like some of these other matchups, like watching someone kill Banelings, right? So I don't think that he can do something very micro-based.
I totally agree. I think that you're not going to like out-finesse Maru. Now, when we make that point, though, I also want to point out, I don't really know what you're supposed to do to beat Maru in TVT. There doesn't appear to be an Achilles heel here.
No, he's not weak at the matchup. He's really strong at it.
So I don't know. I mean, it does appear that Maru is bigger, faster, stronger here.
Yeah.
ByuN's very good. He's looking very strong, but this is the group of death, and we're kind of seeing why. And really, I didn't know that today was going to look like this, but there really are two tiers of players, it appears today. Stats and Maru are up here, and ByuN and Parting are down here.
Yeah, tonight it does look like
I thought it might be more of a toss-up. I thought Parting might pull some amazing plays, and maybe ByuN would, in a very ByuN-like manner, just do some excellent, aggressive micro early on and win. It is not. There are two different calibers here today.
Yeah, and honestly, watching the round of 16 so far, right, because this is the third group, I don't think that the players from the other two groups are going to have a chance here. I'm looking at this GSL, and I'm like, I think Maru's stats in Rogue right now are a cut above. I think those are the guys this season.
I'll tell you what I see here, man.
What?
I see round of 8 players and round of 16 players. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But let's see. Maybe ByuN can come back. I mean, ByuN's very clutch. It's good to have him back. He looks very strong, but Maru is God, Emperor, King of Terran, the 4th race. We're going to go to death or for game 2. Let's see if ByuN can survive or if Maru goes on to the round of 8.
행복의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 변현우. 지리어 글린스 마루 조성주.
All right. I feel much more interested personally in what ByuN is going to open up with here. Right? With Maru, whatever he opens up with, he's going to make it work. With ByuN, I'm like, okay, strategically, how are you altering your approach? So that's kind of where my eyes are going. But I wish they'd turn off this production tab and give me the upgrade tab.
Yeah, where's the upgrade tab? Has Stim started yet? Who knows?
I think upgrade tab actually only shows what's finished. Because, like, I don't even care if Stim is upgrading. All I care is, do the Marines have Stim?
Yeah, that's how am I going to cast this? Am I have to wait and see if they have it when they Stim?
Yeah.
No?
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
You only say things you see on the screen?
Can you fly a plane without a pilot? I mean, what are we even doing here?
Yeah,
you know?
what are we even doing?
Yeah.
All right, both sides doing the same build. Similar to last game.
Artosis.
Yo.
This has been a great day.
It really
We
has.
really actually,
It really
I mean,
has.
I know that like it's exciting when, all the really good players are in a group and you don't know who's going to win, but the games have been
They've
good.
been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's been so back and forth, so fun. I tell you, I'm especially excited about stats. I feel like stats is such a good measure of if the metagame is good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because he plays the game in such a way where it's like, oh yeah, that's proper
If stats
RTS play.
if stats is the best Protoss in the world, that's a good thing for the game, I
Yeah.
think, because it means that you don't have to all in every game as Protoss, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure some people, oh no, it's a bad thing because now Protoss can win games. It's like, listen, guys, it would be great if something happens to Rogue where he doesn't meet Stats in the next round and Stats gets to win a championship.
No,
and
you
we
guys are
finally
right.
break this curse.
We need to help Rogue out here. How do we?
Rogue needs another
Which
championship.
Zerg unit do we need to make better again?
Give the Roaches back their 4 range.
Yeah.
Right?
And let's make them cost 1 supply while we're at it.
That was the greatest
That
of
was
times.
that was peak StarCraft.
That was 150
Yeah.
Roaches moving across the map. Good times.
So, people occasionally will come to my Twitch channel when I'm streaming and ask me who I think is going to win GSL, and I usually say I don't know because I really don't know. But I actually think it's going to be Maru now. Just looking at how good he is, he looks really good, man.
It definitely could be Maru. I think it's matchup dependent for Stats because I'm like, well, I mean, PvZ has improved a lot lately for everybody. Like, Protosses have figured out the matchup much better now than when Stats played against Rogue, right? We've had patches. The metagame is starting to normalize a little bit more. So I think Stats would definitely have a better chance, but I'm still not... I'm not betting on anyone other than maybe Maru against Rogue.
The thing about the Stats winning, and I know this isn't maybe the fairest thing to say, but it almost seems like he survived Maru. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he survived him?
It's like someone who survived a shark attack. I'm like, okay, well, I guess you did 2-1 the shark, you know? But, you know,
you did 2-1 him.
what happens if you get back in the water with the shark, though? That I don't know. Now, ByuN is coming in here. Again, very ByuN-esque.
It's kind of a cute attack, but...
Dropping the drop.
The mine coming down.
Dropping
oh boy.
the drop. What? Does ByuN win this?
No.
Okay, you know, I gotta say
That was such a weird battle.
he keeps doing this where he's like, you know, gonna just run in there with this small army, and you know, it's 2 players just now getting their second base up. All their money, I promise you, has been spent on roughly the same kind of units.
Yeah.
That can probably beat your units because you're by their production facilities.
It's
So
such a gambling move when you had the same opener.
Yeah, he always kamikazes in there and then tries to do damage. I just don't know if this is going to help him.
I think that this is it's an interesting thing when you're one of the best players in the world because ByuN probably beats almost everybody with moves like that, right? Gets ahead with moves like that all the time in his practice because he's not playing against Maru every game and TY every game, right? But maybe when he's playing someone like Bunny, he's like, damn, this is really good. But then you play Maru and it's like, well, was that really worthwhile? I'm not as sure.
Okay, Maru picks up, moves in over here. I'm liking these little skirmishes early on. Looks like they should be able to get away. Now the third CC for both sides is almost finished. It's interesting to see them both taking jabs at each other so early on in this game. And ByuN's now going to come down here. Looks like he might go for a drop, maybe on the main or the natural.
A little bit of Raven harassment. It's pushed out. He bays at about the same time. Everything pretty lined up.
Well, ByuN looks in here. I don't think he can go for it. Oh, look at that. That's just not in tank range. How funny.
I like that defense. That was
and not even moving the tank.
good choices by both players there.
I like it.
Okay.
And so I think we're kind of, I guess Maru is like 2% ahead or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
It's like slightly ahead, but it's not game changing. We'll have to wait and see as more engagements and skirmishes occur what's going to happen.
What's been kind of interesting to me, and I'm not paying complete attention to the timings of all the CCs, but ByuN in both games has had slight SCV leads over Maru.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's one of the reasons why I'm looking at this. And the thing is, he's losing decent amounts of units, but keeping his supply really high. And a part of that is that he's heavier on Marines rather than tech units. But just the fact that he's also staying ahead on SCVs against Maru, I think that's quite impressive mechanically. It's like differences like this actually do matter up at the top of the world. People who can make more workers early on, like not miss a beat with that, You know, it's like the butterfly effect. It's the SCV effect.
It really is. I think this is actually most people that are trying to improve in StarCraft and don't know why they're not getting better. It's usually actually they're not making enough workers.
Or not
back
consistently making them.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
like your workers are not endlessly coming out until you hit that right number.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to be like, oh, what do you think? Should I go for this build? Or it's like, no. You actually just, everything you do is slow.
Yeah.
You're just, everything you do is not efficient enough. And therefore, someone who just has the mappings of the build, the same build that you're doing, they just get ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Look at the clock. Do you have the right amount of supply at this time? It's like, well, why don't you?
If not, go practice against the computer. Just get it back up to where it needs to be.
Totally. All right, some more command centers going down. Maru's setting up in a defensive little formation here. I like that from ByuN. Get rid of the sensor tower. Just being lightly annoying. You can see that Maru, once again, is the one really focusing on the tech units. More medevacs there for his opponent, whereas he has Vikings, he has Ravens. And, you know, it's...
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
oh, boy, howdy.
A little bit painful there. But yeah, this is, you know, we talk about, like, proper ways to play the game. And I know that some people get annoyed with that, but the thing is, if you play the way Maru's playing really, really well, the way ByuN is playing can't really do much because you're controlling everything with the Vikings and Ravens, right? It's like ByuN gets all these medevacs, he has all these Marines, but there's sensor towers up, he has disables, he has armor shreds, he has Vikings to shoot down medevacs, Vikings to spot where his opponent's siege tanks are, and he can just kind of eke out value consistently.
Look at the mini-map here. This is kind of funny. It's like, you see ByuN has his little counterattacks all set up.
Yeah, he does.
He's ready to go. He wants to do what he wants to do, but then Maru's like, no, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm going to make more stuff.
Well, the thing is, Maru's position, like, look, ByuN right now, he has a lot of supply. Look at this supply, right? He's up 15 supply in army at the moment. He's still got more SCVs. So he's doing a great job in a lot of ways. What Maru needs to do is just make sure he doesn't die to anything kind of random that comes out, right?
Yeah.
ByuN has a lot of firepower, but if Maru's entrenched and like kind of staring at his minimap, there's nothing that ByuN can do to hurt him. He has to wait like this. He has those groups set out on the map. He's waiting for Maru to do something. He's waiting for a way to get in. Maybe Maru expands too quickly. Maybe Maru does a push out at the wrong time. And that's where ByuN could get that damage, but will Maru do those things?
I got to point out something here because this is kind of subtle and funny, and we don't normally get moments like this in games. They are operating, even though they're kind of doing a lot of the same stuff, the algorithm that each player is following in their brain to solve this is different. Look at the worker count and the difference. ByuN gets maxed out more quickly, but has less workers, meaning that he wants to try to initiate something earlier. That's all in line with what we're seeing here. Maru gets way more workers and maxes out later on, and therefore has more muscle and probably more of the proper pieces in a longer, drawn-out game.
That's exactly what he wants.
And you can see ByuN, it's like he wants to do something, right? But it's not going to happen. I mean, there's nothing he can do to get in there. If Maru doesn't, you know, it's funny because there's games where we see Maru everywhere, like he's hitting all these different locations, and then there's games like this where he is a iron fortress that is not going to move out until it's time.
Well, this is what TVT is because the siege tank is so powerful,
right?
That like the way that Maru is approaching this is incredibly difficult. And you see, okay, ByuN's like, well, I have to do something.
Yeah.
And what is like? This didn't do anything. Those 7 SCVs, it almost helps Maru to lose those, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't get anything done there. That was like 30 supply he just threw in.
Okay, he's going to try to attack in here. Not a bad angle, but I don't know if you're going to get much more ground here.
No, ByuN, I mean, he's trying to punch in and get something done. But Maru's got the spellcasters, he's got the reactive army, he's got the sensor towers, so he knows it's there.
Some more scans coming here. Yeah. ByuN just can't get in there. You know what I mean? It's like Maru's impenetrable.
He's not playing poorly. He's just, it's dated what he's doing.
Yeah. He's trying to somehow crack the defenses, and every time he does it, he is eating damage from siege tank shots. And Maru's continuing to grow. ByuN is doing a little bit of a catch-up back here at home, but, I mean, it's going to be showtime for Maru pretty soon here.
Yeah, he's trying to push out.
Oh, my God. See, there it is again. And now he can disable these tanks, I believe.
Yeah, he might just use Liberators to push him back, too.
Oh,
another great way to do it.
Fine, too.
Yeah, look at that. Gets another tank.
It's crazy how much damage Liberators do. You got to get out of that zone so quickly.
You got to basically unsiege the second that they siege.
Yeah. It's funny because when that unit first came out, I thought, oh, it seems like it's kind of slow to to do what it wants. No, not at all.
No, it's the right speed.
Oh my God. Yeah, he will be able to get in here. Great disables. And this is where Maru sinks his teeth into the army of ByuN. Whoa, great counterattack here. I just now saw that. Missed that on the mini-map.
So he does find a location where Maru doesn't quite have enough. He is knocking out some of his buildings here, getting some command centers.
Yeah, taking these orbitals out is very nice, considering that there's already plenty of orbitals set up over here for ByuN in the north half of the map. But where does the game go from here?
Yeah, that was a very good move from ByuN. And those are the types of moves that he really needs to get done. But the truth of the matter is, Maru still has the exact same army he just killed ByuN's other army with. He just brings it over here and then kills this army, right?
It's crazy how well you can trade when you disable the tanks.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah. He's got all the technicality. ByuN now does have a couple Ravens out, but the Vikings, of course, can punish that. I like the idea from ByuN. Disable some tanks and get your really high Marine count to do something. But Maru gonna hold on against this. Marine's not quite able to trade like ByuN wants. And it's hard for him to get these disables as well. Like, he's trying to get some Ravens out for that, which I think in theory is good. But look at this. As soon as the Vikings get over there, just a huge punishment on the lack of anti-air.
Yeah.
The Marines can't really protect the Ravens.
Yeah, not really. Again, another disable. Uh-oh.
Oh, I wonder what that was. Huh. Must be some sort of hotkey error, if I had to guess.
Yeah, let's, we'll get notified.
Maybe maybe a lack of sound or a lagging PC. It might have to be a resume from replay type situation. He's like, the Marines just are not killing any siege tanks. Oh, I think it's a wrist issue.
Yeah. Look at that bump. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that maybe it's actually too much.
Yeah, ByuN known for really pushing himself in practice more than most pros.
Yeah, that bump on his hand is actually from
rubbing on a desk.
Rubbing on the mouse.
Yeah.
Mouse pad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's too much pain. I don't know. Thing is, there's nothing we can do, right? Unless, and then they turn to me, I'm like, I'll play.
Yeah, hopefully.
I knock Maru out, and I'm like, well.
Maybe he can just take a moment and. The thing is, yeah,
as someone who's experienced
thing.
It's a problem, man. I mean, I couldn't play for years because of wrist problems. Definitely do your hand stretches, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking, not me, tasteless.
No, do it.
No,
seriously,
you,
do it.
guy at home who cannot touch his toes. You need to do your stretches.
I didn't touch my toes.
Huh?
Look at that.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just wait and see. I don't know. I mean, the players do have the right to forfeit, but if it's that much pain, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to win and then power through?
I appreciate if they just give him a minute to try to relax it. Well, you know, it's a hard game, man. You have a lot of APM. You're moving real quick. His style as well is a very fast style, trying to move around like this and hit all these different locations. In general, wrist issues come up with Terran players more than the other races, just because of mechanically how you kind of play it.
Oh, hold on. Well, they've requested a small break. We checked the regulations, they're telling me in my ear. So technically, we have to issue him a warning because it's not a technical. You're only allowed to pause for technical issues.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
my sound went off, or
Totally.
my hotkeys are not right.
Yeah. And it makes sense to have a rule like that anyways, because you can just
you could
make up.
Yeah, you could be
take
like,
someone's
oh,
tempo away.
what is this weird strategy he's doing? Hold on, I'm going to pause. I want to break. And then you're
and
like,
you can
okay.
think about
oh,
it,
I figured it
something like
out.
that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Not obviously, that's not what he's doing here,
No,
but
of course.
we're just explaining. I believe we will still allow for 2 more minutes. Guys,
Okay.
in total 2 minutes, so I guess actually we go back into this.
Yeah, it looks like it's done.
So do your stretches. And if your hand or forearm is a little bit painful after that, I recommend some ice on it to reduce the inflammation. But generally speaking, you want to be doing lots of stretches.
Yeah.
Doing stretches is key.
It is. Should always do them every day.
All right, here we go. All right, let's see how he looks.
Okay. You see that Maru, I mean, his army is just so scary. He has a lot of Ravens, a lot of Vikings. These Liberators are going to help him a lot as well. And just disabling left and right. Okay, ByuN is going to make a pretty strong move up into this third base area once again. He kills 2 tanks, and he's going to get this command center, no doubt.
Nicely done. Doing a lot of damage over here now.
Yeah, these moves are great. And he's actually getting a bunch of Ravens this time, which is... I like that. I do like the pick off of some Ravens. I'm not sure exactly how many he got. I think he killed 3 or 4. So, yeah, I think that's probably a good thing for him. You know, this is when you're playing like Maru, you actually can kind of spend your gas when you're going for lots of Ravens.
Yeah,
so
that is one way you can do
matchups.
a gas dump. But that's of course it's a different matchup. TBT here.
No, totally.
Totes, my goats.
Ravens are not so useful in the other matchups.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He actually goes through there and kills off every tank. That was a beautiful engagement there.
Hey.
But how far can he go?
Nice.
That's what I'm wondering here.
Yeah,
he's killed
Maru,
so many orbitals.
He has killed a lot of command centers. But Maru still has a big chunk of his army. Oh, look at that. He actually finds tanks out of position there.
ByuN is actually doing more than enough damage right now. This is becoming a real threat here.
He is doing very well with these attacks. Maru's not dead, though. Like, do you think he's maybe overproduced Raven Vikings slightly there?
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting that much out of the Ravens right now. I think he was storing that for later, not respecting the possible threats coming from ByuN in the immediate. Okay, he's coming in again here.
Oh, I don't know about this one,
Good disables
Maru.
on the tanks. The problem, oh man.
Throwing down some auto turrets there to help push everything back. His siege tank's doing some work too.
The tanks will go without being killed. The disable wears off. I feel like right now Maru is hanging on by a thread, actually, even though supplies are quite high. Spots that expansion over there. There's no way for Maru to save that either, but Maru does come in here. Again, not taking those tanks out. Attacking when the tanks are not disabled.
ByuN is putting out a really nice game. All these attacks on third base, I think, have stacked up a little bit. Maru, though, I mean, he's still got this very efficient army. His tank count is a little bit low now, though, right? 4 tanks? This becomes much more doable for ByuN to break lines. He picks off a couple of ByuN's tanks.
Okay, tanks sieging up. Getting closer here. We had, right after the pause, basically, ByuN really was giving it to Maru here. This is a planetary now, so... Oh, but I love this. You can just run behind the minerals. We don't see this enough. Just get back there.
Very nice move.
Okay, disables now on this army. ByuN should win this fight. Oh, but there's some more tanks extra on these Vikings I didn't quite see.
Yeah, some pretty favorable trading here for ByuN several times in a row, but still not done. ByuN has taken a lot of bases. Maru actually scanning into that area.
Yeah.
ByuN has twice as many Marines right now, but again, doesn't have as technical of an army, but he's got, I mean, 4 Ravens against 8, not too bad.
Okay.
Ooh, I love that armor shred, plus the disable on the tank. Pushes over into that area towards the natural and is actually getting a lot of extra damage, but a tank does siege on the high ground.
ByuN is tearing through here now.
You can see the Vikings starting to really deal some damage. They take out those Ravens. So even though he's doing damage here in the natural, like, is this area that important?
Yeah, what's kind of funny, it's like he took what he could get, right? So now he's in the middle of this base, but
he loses his army, and there's...
And he actually hemorrhaged quite a bit of units. It really is important to know when you need to back up. You can't just keep attacking in. Maru is suddenly surprisingly ahead in army supply. And I worry that things are just going to go back to square one here. It seemed like ByuN had room, but actually overextended and sacrificed army that could be used later on.
Maru is showing a great deal of patience because it got very hairy a couple of times, but he just kept clearing everything as best he could. But look at this flank here, or coming in from the side rather, from ByuN. He actually clears the tanks, clears the Liberator. Another really good move.
Yeah, great plays here. Thing is, Maru seems to be setting up for a healthier late game. You know what I'm saying? ByuN is in the immediate threat, but I think if Maru just outlasts him, he will have an army that can just pulverize anything it encounters.
Yeah, that is what he's been working to. It's just ByuN has done a good job picking off enough tanks that he's giving himself some options here. He's down 30 army supply right now, sieging up these tanks, trying to hold everything off. But the Raven spell is really coming in handy. Yeah, disabling tanks, throwing down the auto turrets. Maru closing in on ByuN.
Yeah, Maru now pushing back. He's reclaimed this expansion over here. He has targets set over here on the expansion, just to the left of our screenshot. He'll take that tank out and continue to move through. This is a lot of SCVs, by the way. SCV count was even for most of this game. Now, ByuN does have counterattack potential. What?
Oops.
That's a big oopsies.
Yeah, indeed. Marines actually finding some units that were trying to reinforce a little bit out of position. I like that pullback a lot.
He scans it. Wait, did I? Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's sending some more units, so he will be able to pick that off now.
Now, I think what Maru might want to do is actually just take a fight against ByuN's army. Just take it on head on. Stop counterattacks from being a thing. Doesn't even go back to try to save the infantry. Okay, great auto turrets here to try to draw some of the shots away. That actually saved his tanks.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Oh, ByuN, though, he retreats very, very well. Rotates around, but oh my gosh, it was just too much here from Maru.
Maru's army is like this giant net that's just catching everything.
But ByuN has a lot of extra Marines left over here. Look at this, actually punches through. The Planetary going to save him. ByuN having to retreat after their armor shred.
Okay, a scan here. Again, this is a fascinating game to watch because it's like ByuN is having so many piercing attacks.
Yeah.
But Maru just sort of twists it, bends it, comes back. Again, these Ravens, the utility he's getting out of this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like a bop it.
What'd you call it, a bop it?
Yeah, you twist it, bend it, bop it, slap it, whatever. Right. But yeah, I mean, Maru is showing this cost efficiency of this unit set and what you can really do. ByuN is actually starting to run out of bases, to be honest. He has to start taking Maru's bases. That shows you like how much he's been mining this whole time.
Yeah, he will run out of minerals here too. This is Marine Man versus Late Game Man.
This is Wild Man against the fourth race.
That's right. Everything is orange. Okay, this is never going to be a win here for ByuN, right? Yeah.
Auto turrets really helping out there.
I think for the first time ever, Maru's now into the upper right quadrant of the map. This was mostly an area that was a launching pad for ByuN's attacks.
This is pretty much ByuN's last base.
Look at cattle bruisers.
Throws down some auto turrets. ByuN freeing everything out, not enough.
Maru is the greatest. The greatest.
ByuN put up a nice fight that game, but that style against someone of Maru's level, the thing is there's not many people of Maru's level. I think he would have beaten a lot of Terrans there, but it's hard to play like ByuN played there. It's unfortunate about his pain in his wrist.
Yeah, I feel for the guy. He needs to get one of those Luke Skywalker arms.
Huh.
How about that, fellow nerds? Am I one of you now? Did I prove myself as a geek?
I'm like, wait a minute. Did you just spoil Star Wars for me. I haven't finished the
Darth
first
Vader's
movie.
Luke Skywalker's dad. Spoiler alert. All right, interview time. The great, the wonderful Andy will translate. And you will listen and learn.
Wow, what a nerve-wracking series that was, but in the end, it is Maru securing the second place spot. Congratulations. Thank you.
네, 아낌없이 빌드도 나눠주던 변현우 선수와의 경기였습니다.
And it was the match against ByuN, and it has just finished. How do you feel? I actually thought I would advance as the first place, so I was doing easy day today, but I lost in the winners brackets. And then, you know, eliminating ByuN feels kind of bad for me.
변현우 선수가 다수 해벽으로 빠르게 움직이고
So ByuN did use a lot of Marines, and there were a lot of skirmishes.
어떻게 느끼셨나요?
So how did you
저는 솔직히
see his plays?
과감하게 모으는 게 더 좋다고 생각해서
I think, you know, building more Ravens was better,
제가 더 편한 것 같아요.
and I think that was the better
한편
choice.
승자전에서는 김대엽 선수를 상대로
In this winners
초중반
match,
공격적인 플레이를
Against
보여주셨습니다.
that, you've shown a lot of aggression. So what were you most
뭐 승자전을
careful
제가
about?
준비를 안 해와가지고
You know, I didn't actually practice for the winners match,
거짓말 하길래 거짓 맞춤을 했는데
and Stats was keep going for the color side, so I just adapted to that.
그래서 좀 말린 것 같아요.
자, 한편 원희삭 선수와의 첫 경기
And in the
오늘
first
복수에도
match
성공하고
against Parting,
승리를
you successfully took your
거뒀습니다만
revenge and
오늘
you won the
VOD
game.
다시 보실 건가요?
So you're gonna watch your replay today. No, I'm not gonna watch the replay.
아이센 크롬 경기입니다.
So that was the Ice and Chrome
여러모로 잊을
match.
수 없는 역대급 경기가
That was quite
됐습니다.
a
첫 번째로는
memorable match.
조성주 선수의 역대급 심시티를
So, Maru,
본 경기였다. 이런 의미가 있고요.
We saw the SimCity from you in that game,
40분 넘게 버텼는데
and
내가
you were
쏘는데
holding off the
내가
game
맞고
for 40 minutes,
터져버린
and then you
경기였다.
self-destructed
이런
with a
의미가
nuclear
있겠습니다.
missile.
이 심경은 본인 외엔 아무도
So I'm
모르겠죠.
sure nobody can feel
어떤 심경이셨나요?
how you feel right now. So how did you feel that then?
불리해가지고 제가 따라가는 입장이었는데
You know, I was on the back foot and I was just like slowly following him, and I thought I would have a chance.
후반 가니까 정신이 없어.
But in the later phase, I was so busy with my hands, and then I shot a nuclear missile and I couldn't see the red dot, and then the nuclear missile just landed on my army.
아 근데 0대 1이었으면은 멘탈이 나갔을 것 같은데.
You know, if I was losing 0-1, my mentality would have been broken, but you know, I was pretty okay with it.
생각합니다.
It felt like more like a ceremony.
네, 그럼에도 불구하고 조성수 선수의 심시티는 멋졌습니다.
But despite that, your SimCity was wonderful.
108포탑을 넘어선 111포탑이었어요.
And Flash had the record for the most turrets built with 108 turrets, but you broke the record today with 111 turrets.
모이면은 포탑이 없으면 못 버티겠더라고요.
You know, I had to build turrets to fend off the army, and I built a lot today.
안 되네요. 폭풍함이 있으니까.
But
네,
you know, I
그
couldn't
원희삭
beat the
선수와의
Tempest after all.
경기에서는 아까운 경기도 있었지만 조성주 선수만의 난전과 또 화려한 견제를
But Maru, we got to see a lot of beautiful plays from you today.
조성주 선수의 8강 상대는 죽음의 조
So Maru, your opponent in the next round will be the first place of Group D. You were able to avoid the team kill of Junior Green Wings in the round of 16, but it is highly inevitable in the round of 8. So who do you want to play against?
경렬이 형이 낫죠.
I think Rogue is going to be better for me than Trap.
솔직히 토스보다는 저그가 나은 것 같고.
You know, TVZ is definitely better than TVP right now,
잘 알다 보니까.
and Trap knows me too well, so I think Rogue is going to be a better fit.
선수와 더불어서 이신영 선수도 태징징 쌍두마차로서
So you know, innovation, you know, tends to
이신영 선수는 올라올 수 있을까요?
cry on about Terran race a lot. Do you think he's going to make it?
아, 태태전을 하고 싶다.
I do want to play the
자,
TVT
끝으로
against him
마지막
though.
한마디 들어보겠습니다.
So before you go, anything you want to say?
일단 좀 오늘 좀 어렵게 올라간 감이.
You know, it's been quite hard for me today,
토스 한 명 이기고 올라갔으니까.
but I'm glad to have beat up Protoss today.
잘하겠습니다.
I'm going to try to play
다시
better
한번
in the next
팔강
round.
진출 축하드립니다.
Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
네, 오늘 아주
Sick.
치열했던
What a
경기들이었는데요.
night. It's,
오늘 경기
11:10
최종
p.m.
경기
here.
확인해 보시죠.
Yeah, no, very long night of GSL, very excellent night of GSL. Stats and Maru advance, and they definitely both deserved it.
Yeah.
They look amazing right now. Definitely two of the people that can win this tournament.
And really impressive to see Maru versus ByuN. You can see Maru just has a better handle on the matchup overall. And so now we have two more spots filled up here. Stats and Maru will be waiting for their opponents from Group D, which will be just, what is that going to be? What day is it? It's
Saturday.
Saturday, excuse me.
Yeah. And don't forget, we have ASL tomorrow
And
night.
ASL is going to kick ass.
It's a great group tomorrow. Yeah, this is good times. This
Very
whole
good
month, lots of StarCraft.
Rogue, Innovation, Dark, and Trap That's going to be a lot of fun to cast. That'll be 1 p.m. KST. GSL is back on schedule with our normal our days here. We do have that extra ASL day, as Artosis mentioned. Lots of StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 this month for you guys.
Look at that. They all have their arms crossed.
Yeah.
Are they supposed to all have their arms crossed?
I don't know, but look at those amazing forearms.
You know, sometimes
Wow.
we have people do different poses for the round of 24 groups, but then, like, what if just all the arms crossed guys happen to get into this group?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you got to cross your arms in your picture to win, because we see patterns where there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what are going to be our analysis post-game. Well, he didn't have his arms crossed. He was doing this.
Yeah.
Nobody wins doing that anymore.
Yeah, no, all those guys lost.
What
in
is
the
this,
first round.
2001?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it was a fun night. It was a long night. Make sure you join us again tomorrow for ASL.
Same YouTube channel that you're watching us on live now. We'll be there.
Pylon show tomorrow as well. So
That's
check
right.
that out. Yeah, it never ends. StarCraft all day, all night. It should be. It should be. Look at what we just casted tonight. That
Tonight was
group
good. The
that
games
was
were very
insane.
good.
That was insane.
Yeah.
That TVP, man. Parting Maru.
It was to die for.
That was something else. I had a lot of fun with that one. Sad to see Parting and ByuN go out.
That is too bad.
We should talk to Mr. Che about making it a round of 10.
I'm saying, let them both go through and play in Archon mode. Guys, that's all the time we have. We love you. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Untitled GSL.